When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to another edition of the Make We Talk program. This evening we're going to have with us security expert Robert Finzi Smith to speak to us about the situation that's going on in Jamaica. 4 males, including a juvenile, are arrested following a seizure of illegal guns, 15 rounds of ammunition in St. Andrew, and a shootout. Cowboy and Indian shootout, leave 2 dead. Cowboy and Indian shootout, leave 2 dead. A major investigation is now underway regarding a shootout where the newspaper dubbed it as Cowboy and Indian shootout, leave 2 dead. And also, yesterday, man gunned down in Yorktown, Clarendon. And yet they're saying crime is going down. Yet they're saying crime is it's going down. Begs to ask the question, where are they getting the statistics from? We're going to wait on security expert Sir Robert Finzi Smith to come on to speak to us. His views on the security of our country. Is it that we are treading on some rocky grounds in our country where there is no return of normality when it comes down to the crime pandemic in this country? Hopefully we can get some comments from both Luke George Cook and Robert Finzi Smith. The Major Investigation Division is probing the allegation of a cowboy and Indian like gun bottled murder shootout in Barside village in Red Hills, which left two attackers dead and another man nursing gunshot wound. The Gleaner understand that the 21-year-old Oble Lee is dead. Now tell me something now. Are we becoming like what is going on in Russia and Ukraine? Then in the same breath, guns seized and 15 rounds of ammunition seized. And you're trying to figure out where all of these coming from. Yesterday also the police in St. James are probing the shooting of 3 women in a yard along King Street last night by gunmen. 3 women. So you see what is going on? In the space of one day, you hear about so many shootings happening in the country. It begs to ask the question, isn't this bringing down brand Jamaica? This is in the second city. 3 women were shot in Montego Bay, the popular tourist resort area. Jamaica's second city. The police in St. James are probing the shooting of 3 women in a yard along King Street last night by gunmen. It is reported at about 10:20 p.m. The women were in a yard talking when a man came up, pulled out a firearm and opened fire. The women were rushed to the nearby hospital. You beg to ask the question, what is really going on? And in the same breath, let me go back up here. In the same breath, yesterday again, a man was gunned down in Yorkstown, Clarendon. All right? In the same breath that happened, you know. And yesterday again, Cowboy and Indian shootout leave 2 dead. You know how much gunshot happened yesterday? In the same breath. Oh, Jesus, have mercy upon us, Lord. You hear this? Yesterday again, an 18-year-old has been charged for shooting of a man in Yas Dunkirk, Kingston. That was yesterday. In the same breath, yesterday again, gun and ammunition seized in St. Andrew. 4 rounds. Oh man, it's not 4 rounds. Hold on there. 4 males, rather. 4 males, including a juvenile, were arrested following a seizure of an illegal gun and 15 rounds of ammunition in St. Andrew yesterday afternoon. So yesterday afternoon, gun seized, then it go back down, 15 rounds of ammunition. Then you go down to Cowboy, an Indian shooter, leave 2 dead. Then you scroll down. Man gunned down in Yorkstown, Clarendon. That was yesterday. Then you scroll down, and this is the Jamaica Gleaner. If you don't believe me, go and check it out. You scroll down and you go down and you see 3 women shot in Montego Bay. You scroll down. And not only that, the amount of fatal accidents on the roads in our country is appalling. The amount of shooting and the amount of fatal accidents in our country. A 17-year-old boy has been charged with murder and wounding with intent following the stabbing death of a 20-year-old Catholic college Mandeville student on Monday. Stabbing, gunned down. In the same breath, if you heard what the wife of the late Keith Clark said in her testimony in court yesterday, where she said, Dr. Clark yesterday recalled witnessing her husband Keith Clark being shot in their bedroom. Mr. Clark got 21 bullets. You see? Keith Clark got 21 bullets. I can see Finzi Smith coming and what's going on. They said device not connected. Mr. Smith, try connect again for me now, please, sir. You know what's going on. I want him to come on here. My sinus start affecting me now. She recall. So Finzi Smith, if you can hear me, it's saying your device is not connected. I think you need to come out and come back in. Let me see if I can get a hold of him. Hold on for me, please. Let me see if I can get a hold of Robert Finzi Smith. Just one moment, please. One moment. So Smith, it is saying your device is not connected, so you have to go out and come back in and get connected. Okay. Yes. So that is what is going on. In the space of one day, you hear much shooting went on in a country of a population of only 2 to 3 million people. Hmm? The amount of shooting that is going on, sometimes you wonder. And now you have Cowboy and Indian shootout. Leave 2 dead. 15 rounds of ammunition seized. 17-year-old charged for murder. 6 secondary school boys. Secondary school boys in St. Elizabeth. is behind bars tonight. Dear God in heaven, what is going on in this beautiful island of ours? We're waiting on security expert Robert Finzi Smith. There he is. Sir Smith, welcome to the program, sir. Are you hearing me? Oh, Lord. Sir Smith, are you hearing me? Robert Finzi Smith, you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Yes. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, sir. Sorry for being late.
That's all right, man. I know you have other things to do. You see what is going on? That's in the Gleaners reporting Cowboy and Indian shootout leave 2 dead, 15 rounds of ammunition, 2 women shot yesterday, 1 get gunned down in Clarendon. What is going on? Are we running a place called Ukraine and Russia?
Or you have somebody that them truly say playing cowboys and Indians
Hmm.
and that seemingly have no fear of being caught.
Yes.
So I don't know what to tell you, master.
But Sir Finzi Smith, is what is going on in this country? Is it that they can't get a grip of the crime problem in this country, yet they're saying that crime is going to go on to 14%? You believe that?
I am not entirely convinced.
Yes.
I mean, you can do anything you want with figures. 2 deaths less can equate to 14%, depending on how you calculate it. But it's difficult to put stock by the figures if your everyday reality does not reflect it.
Mm. Wow. A lot of Jamaicans are saying that the Jamaica Constable Force is lying to the people about the figures.
I don't know if they're lying or there's a saying, especially in relationships, where they say, I didn't outright lie, but the sin of omission. It's I didn't lie to you, but I didn't tell you that part.
Mm.
So maybe that's a possibility.
Mm. Wow.
But to the parents and the relatives of people who have untimely departed,
Yes.
it's a little difficult to convince them of what you're saying.
Mm.
It can backfire because it can come across as somebody who just lost a daughter or a son or a mother or a father
Yes.
or a brother, sister, that their loved ones don't count.
Yes.
Oh, so you lost a loved one, but it's down. To them, it can be a case of it's gone down, but not soon enough to have helped my relative.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe my relative don't count.
Would you say the level of corruption is going on in the country while the crime is spiraling out of control?
I think a level of disingenuous behavior have now nullified any outrage. Just another day in the factory.
Mm.
So you have people who have gotten to a point where them just say, ah boy, what do you expect? Things that we used to be outraged at, we now accept it as par for the course.
And that's not good for us at all.
No, it's not. Some people are saying, my God, we could become Haiti. I put it to you that we may have already become Haiti. It's just that we don't see it against the background of how Haiti has been painted.
Mm-hmm.
We see it in terms of, because we don't have the infrastructural difficulties of a Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
We think that, you know, a long way to go. But our modern amenities and buildings are concealing the same rot that has
Mm-hmm.
permeated Haiti.
Mm. You know, I'm gonna show you a video of a woman pleading for her daughter's return. A teacher
Uh,
gone missing.
the teacher,
Are you
yeah.
aware of that?
Yes.
When you look at this video and hear how this woman pleaded for her daughter, and you hear nothing from the wife of the governor general, who's Jamaica's first lady, you hear nothing from the female parliamentarians, Smith. You wonder what is going on in the country. Listen to this.
Jesus, oh God. Lord, I cannot live without her, Jesus. I've never been through this before, oh God. Why this, Lord? Why, Jesus? You could stop them, Jesus. I serve you for 50 years, Jesus. Why allow them to take my daughter? Jesus, oh God. Jesus. 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 Lord. Send help, Jesus. Send help, oh God. Jesus, have mercy, Lord. Oh God. Jesus.
Just a second. Josh, can I call you back? Or you do
You
something?
know,
Can I call you back? All right, cool. Sorry about that.
that's okay. So, Smith, when you see that, a teacher left her mother's home in St. Catherine on her way to school or whatever, I don't know. But she has never, she hasn't returned.
My problem is this: we're able to identify the alleged mode of transport that she utilized.
Yes,
She has a phone, I take it.
yes.
We put Vibes Cartel away using phone evidence, which means that you should be able to track a phone if it's on.
Right? Because you have the capability to put cartel away with a phone.
Yeah. And time is of the essence. I'm not saying it's not been done, but I don't know. Someone must be able to say to the people who have this service running,
Mm-hmm.
what does your computer say about which one of your drivers picked up this passenger?
Mm.
And if they don't have a system that allows them to do that, they should be denied the right to offer a service in Jamaica with immediate effect.
But I believe, Sir Smith, that both Judicial and Lime, whatever they call it, they do have that capability. But
I believe so. I know so.
and what I don't understand is that the Jamaica Constabulary Force, is it that because this woman and her daughter is not from the effluence of society in Jamaica, why don't hear a outcry? Is it because she don't live up by Cherry Garden or Norbrook and
That's
she
an
don't have a
unfortunate
certain name?
thought process that I can't blame you for. But must also remember that they've been very circumspect about guarding the privacy of their consumers.
Mm.
But there must be a middle ground between that and finding out what's going on because of the urgency of now.
Yes.
Can't go through everything, cross every T, dot every I. Somebody's life is at stake if it's not already gone. Because I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But invariably, within 24 hours, you still have a little thing. When you cross into the 48 and thing, it's not a rescue, it's a recovery.
Mm.
The other problem is if you look at the young lady, the pictures, she fits the demographic in terms of size, stature, and thing that they would target. She's slim, seemingly easy to tote away,
Yes.
and easy to subdue.
Hmm.
So you have to come back to the low hanging fruit. One, which vehicle was assigned to pick her up? Which what your computer must tell you which vehicle picked her up.
Hmm.
That driver should be in custody explaining now as we speak.
What went on?
Two, meantime, you should be trying to find out when is the last time her phone pinged a cell tower and where was it?
Mm.
She's an attractive young lady. It can be anything from a sexual encounter gone bad in terms of a man raping or whatever to human trafficking.
Mm. Are
And
you aware?
be not fooled. Human trafficking is alive and well in Jamaica.
So Smith, are you
Mhm.
aware of a human trafficking ring in Port Antonio?
I've heard of it. And bear in mind, Port Antonio has ports and sea access. If you grab them and you want to just immediately distance them from Jamaica, it's not hard.
Mm. You
Our
want?
public education to young ladies about what to look out for to prevent themselves becoming a victim
Yes.
is woefully wanting. Woefully wanting. We are a nation apparently of reactives. Wait till it happens and then we try catch up.
Hmm.
Don't make sense.
What do you think, so Smith? What do you think gonna happen in the sense of we can't stem our crime problem from in the 1930s coming up, and it's worse now in the 21st century, in 2000 or whatever. What are we gonna do to stem our corruption and our crime problem in this country? Or what can be done?
Somebody tried to give us a new prison some time ago, and it was shut down by the then opposition.
Yes.
We need to have sufficient penitentiary space that you're able to differentiate between this type of crime and that type of crime.
Hmm.
And when you create a threshold over which a certain type of crime crosses, you consign them to a penitentiary that is impenetrable
Yes.
for an inordinate period of time. Because we don't have seem to have any rehabilitation program that makes sense. We have too many repeat offenders for that to be true.
Hmm.
And people must feel that if you do certain things and I put you away, you're the living dead. You mustn't get visitors. You mustn't have anybody bringing you rice and peas on Sunday. What you eat,
Hmm.
you must grow. In
True.
terms of staying in touch with the world as it
Outside
exists,
world.
you mustn't have any TV. You mustn't have any radio. You mustn't have none of that. You must be the living dead. Because I tell you the truth, So many people running around committing these horrific things truly don't think about their demise, because they might get them picture painted on the wall in the ghetto somewhere and some big, beautiful glass hearse burial and
Yes.
glorified. But if they suddenly disappear into the system, not to be seen again, not to have no phone call with relative or whatever, you're dead technically, you're the living dead. People think twice now.
True.
We have enough situations where we need farm roads, create chain gangs, let people go out and work creating roads in chains, overseen by the military engineering department. Clear gullies and ditches and all of that. That we're spending a whole heap of money and not getting our money's worth.
True.
You know mineral bath?
Yes.
You see that gravel pit outside it?
Yeah.
There's a mud pit dig down half of the hillside. Used to be prisoners to that,
No. I think they live a better life in prison more than living outside.
Exactly. And them have big thing with the phone that them shouldn't have, showing you drinking, them drinking Hennessy. In the meantime, some young man is asking, who is my father? I'm saying, well, some boy shoot him on the corner. So I'm scarred before him life even start. You should have people who them do work that would normally get them a small money while in prison. That money must go towards the maintenance of the family who them kill the breadwinner of.
True.
So whatever time you get, you must work to pay the family's way.
Let us show you.
Be considered barbaric when I tell you this. We see certain things like rape of any woman, but the younger the woman or the older the woman, the worse it is. In terms of grandmothers being raped and adolescents being raped. There's a cure for that, At the far end of the scale, it's called castration.
Yes.
At the other end of the scale, it's called Cat-O-9.
Can you explain to our viewers and listeners what you meant by that? Cat-O-9 and castrated.
Castration, you castrate somebody, them can't be an upstanding member of the city no more.
I know. But for those who don't understand.
Those of you who have dogs or animals who don't want them to breed, clip them seed. Cat-O-9 used to be a whipping for people with certain things until some people say, oh, it's too reminiscent of slavery. You do certain things, there must be consequences. Consequences that make you not only realize what you do, but make anybody that come near you can see signs of what you did. In certain Muslim countries, if you steal them, chop off your hand.
Yes, I know.
You don't have to wonder if that person is a thief. The loss of the limb will tell you. Consequences is what this country lacks. Consequences. And then we're creating breeding grounds for them by allowing certain behavior in schools.
I was just going to say that to you about the schools. You heard about the 6 students, the 6 boys from a St. Elizabeth school that break into some people's house and thief about 8 television. You heard about it? Let me play this video here. Hold on a minute.
Police can confirm that 6 teenage students were taken.
Sorry, Sir Finzi Smith. Hold on there.
Police can confirm that 6 teenage students were taken into custody last evening during a targeted operation. The ages of the students range from 13 to 16. They were taken in due to an ongoing investigation for housebreaking. 8 televisions were recovered at the premises where the raid was conducted. The investigation is still ongoing. At this time, the students are in our custody, and the representation has been made at the court to decide whether or not we grant them bail or to remand them. We will continue the investigation and to provide the necessary support to these youngsters.
Your views on that, Sir Smith?
Warm to the parents.
That's exactly what I asked when I was doing the program.
The one whose lack of attention to the raising of their children may have contributed to the delinquency of a minor. Warm to them.
Because they keep on blaming government. They can't be government for this.
No.
Is it lack of proper parenting?
Yeah, but then again, it comes back to the government, because the government's supposed to set standards that are maintained.
Yes.
And lack of adherence to these standards have consequences. If you don't mind sharp, parents might have been sitting at home watching the televisions.
You know, I asked the question today, Mr. Smith. Is it that these parents are aware of what their children are doing? Or is it that somebody outside that they're thieving the televisions for them to go back and sell it? Is that something of the sort?
That's
because you hear nothing about the parents.
Possible situation. But let me carry you back further. You grew up in Jamaica?
Oh, yes.
You think you could have go to school and bring home something that your parent never gave you and them see you with it?
Oh, no, I could never do that.
Pencil, pen, geometry set, book.
Anybody who see me on the road going home with something that is not mine, especially a TV.
No, you went to me and say, you have a son that come into your yard with TV that you never buy. And you not say nothing.
And you just accept it.
You then should be charged with receiving stolen property.
True.
You are the adult. It's your house. You in charge. Are you supposed to be?
Unless it's a child in charge of you.
It looks that way in a lot of circumstances.
But
it's the same way I believe that if I'm looking for a wanted man and you keep him in your house, when I find him, your house supposed to forfeit. I bet you a whole heap of people wouldn't hide wanted man after that.
True. There are so many things that we can do in this country to see if we can stop our crime pandemic. But if you have people of the effluent of society who is involved in some notorious crimes in this country, and when they finish, when they do, they pin the crime on somebody else who's innocent. There's nothing
those people now should be charged with accessory after the fact.
Yes.
And if it's proven that they knew about it before the fact, conspiracy. Jamaica don't need new laws, you know. Bugger laws. I have a ton of law books.
But we don't use them.
No.
We use them to suit ourselves at a certain point. You go to Parliament and you amend the laws to suit you and your cronies.
Yes. And if it don't suit you, you change it. Especially if you have the majority that allow you to do so.
My God.
How can you say you wish to have constitutional reform while maintaining a lot of the trappings of what you're said to be reforming. What happens, for instance, if the Privy Council wakes up tomorrow morning and says, we're sick and tired of them Jamaicans, then
Yes.
we're no longer accepting any cases from Jamaica. Where will our final court of appeal be?
Good question.
Our final court of appeal has to be somewhere that, one, is trustworthy, two, is
Yes.
aware of the circumstances of the society that they're judging, and three, is not in a position to ditch us at a whim or fancy. You see, most people forget why we got independence. Norman Manley preached about it diligently. But what helped his case is the British no longer wanted us. We were too expensive to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
Yet it's like somebody kick a child out of the house without allowance, much less subsistence. Jamaica and other people like ourselves are the illegitimate child of Britain and the United States. We just have refused to take them to family court. Now, I am
You
not
know,
attributing this to anyone. Let me say that clearly.
mhm.
But it's a little difficult to abandon a system of which you have become entrenched.
Because they're saying, somebody's saying to me, I had Stephen Golding on last night, and also the president of the National Democratic Movement. And somebody's saying to me that it's a possibility that we're still gonna remain a member of the Commonwealth. And I'm saying to myself, that makes no sense. If you want to leave something, leave it altogether.
That's
No
like
British
leaving your wife
Parliament.
but saying, I'm coming home for dinner tomorrow.
There you go.
But remember now, you have certain people who have certain things to lose, i.e., the status of being part of Her Majesty's or His Majesty's Privy Council.
Yes.
If you're serious
We-
about becoming independent republic, you're pushing and you're saying that the leader of the opposition is being obstreperous and frustrating your efforts. You can fix that, Show some good faith. Sit up tomorrow morning and say, I hereby resign as a member of His Majesty's Privy Council, signaling my intention to disembark the good ship Britain.
Yes. I have
You ever hear
joining
the
me this.
old unfortunate joke about England?
No, go ahead and tell us.
They say if the world were the human body, England could be said to be the large intestine. Everything that passed through it turned to fecal matter.
Oh, Jesus.
And that is why when they take over somewhere, they say them colonize it.
I have joining me this afternoon or this evening or tonight here, human rights activist Luke George Cook. Mr. Cook, welcome to the program, sir. Luke, unmute your mic.
His mic is muted.
Yeah, I realize that. Well, maybe he's not ready for us as yet. As soon as he's ready, let us know. But Luke, welcome to the program. Unmute your mic when you're ready, sir. Mr. Smith, you touch on the whole thing of constitutional reform. We're talking about security and constitutional reform and so forth. What is your views on the idea of the two political party is pushing down the people's throat of a ceremonial president. They're not talking about an elected president. Your views in that?
If the opposition is joining that trade, they
Yes.
can leave me at the station.
They can leave you at the station.
Yes. I don't need, we have enough ceremonial things here.
Oh, yes.
You want to be a true republic? The president must be an executive president, elected by the people on the basis of their faith in the president. You can still have a prime minister, but the president must carry a certain amount of power. So you have a balance.
So don't you believe that the prime minister and the president should be elected by the people, of the people, and for the people?
Yes. Can't be because you managed to get X amount of seats. Them can shove you any monkey and say, hug up that. What is the sense in moving away from this oppressive situation that we have fooled ourselves into thinking we left in 62?
Yes.
If you're going to maintain the trappings that still make it powerful. You understand what I'm saying? You need, if you can break, it's, as I said, it's a divorce situation. Can't divorce your wife and come home on Thursday and say you want dinner and turn up on Saturday and say, oh that little thing go. If you have left, you have left. You must know where the things that you require are going to be obtained. Other than that, it's cosmetics. And most people don't figure out yet all that is required if you truly become a Republican. All the seals have to change.
Yes, have to change.
All the badges of rank and everything else have to change. Everything that is tied to your past situation has to change. That's expensive.
So that means those who are custodies, custos rotolium, and justice of the peace, is it that they're going to stay with that, or they're going to change that and put it to notary public, or what?
Whatever you call it, as long as the performance of the duty is within the realm of what it's supposed to be. That to me, that is the least. What is more important is the same way we have townships and municipalities.
Yes.
That we have mayors of. Those mayors should be directly elected.
But you touch on a point. Before we go there, Luke, are you there with us now?
Yeah, I'm
Luke?
listening.
Yes,
Yeah.
welcome to the program, Sir Cook.
Thank you. You can say happy birthdays in another couple of hours.
Oh, happy birthday when it comes, man. How young are you?
Yeah, because I can't be with you till that long, but celebrate it all you can.
I plan to paint the town in many colors.
There you go.
Yes, have a drink of the spirit of the distill of the cane, you know.
Yeah, but one of the things that Smith said, Jeffrey, is that we keep on saying constitution reform, but starts a bit not just a section where we remove His Majesty as head of state. It's not a total reform of the constitution, Jeffrey, which in a modern democracy you would really want to look at what a total reform looks like.
Yeah, because you can say you have removed His Majesty as our sovereign. But there's a whole heap of paperwork and procedures and stuff that are going to be left behind. our court system, how it's
Our
going to
land
be.
system have to reform too.
Yes, everything. And what most people in the power hungry situation is, what will happen when I truly answer to the people? Because in a constitutional change to a republic, the people are the power,
Yes,
not
but
the people who hold position.
but these political people, Sir Finzi Smith, don't think that we have the power now. They believe that they have the ultimate power to do what they feel like to do.
And that
Well, there
is
is Sir Fitzgerald, but there was another time in history, not Jeffrey, where you had what was called the Magna Charta, where the poor people in Britain went to King Richard, I think, if memory serves me right. I'll have to go back and look at what history said. And they said we were tired of the oppression of the aristocracy. So the king, in order to maintain balance and power, created this charter that was called the Magna Carta Charter that says that the people could no longer be oppressed by the notoriety. Now, in this instance, you have a minister who wants to limit the Charter of Rights. And what you're both saying, that republic simply means that the people would have far more speaking rights. But given the fact that they are so beaten down and trod upon, I think that they would still operate in a Stockholm syndrome unless this public education, like what your platform is doing and other platforms, start to educate them about the right. Because why would you want to move? Yeah, it's notable that you want to move to a republic, but when 75% of your recent voters in a local government says that they don't understand what the municipalities are supposed to be doing. So if you reform it, how is it that it's going to be translated? It would be good if going before they went there, you had what was called the Constitution Club, like how you have the 4-H Club, and in every little nook and cranny, through your parish development committee, through your area development committee, the structure that is currently overseen by the social.
No, but Luke, I'm of the opinion that in Jamaica we seek to find complex solutions to simple problems. No, I don't claim to know it all. Far from it. But I tend to try and find the simplest way to deal with things. We can fix one thing and fix something else at the same time. We're not teaching civics in school. Before we start fully again, we need to revise the civics curriculum.
Right.
And put it down to what it would be under a constitutional change to a republic, which would then educate people as to who was and what they should be doing. That's exactly what civics was to be about, you know. This nonsense about I'm going to write job descriptions for ministers was the most interesting sleight of hand I've seen in a long while. Civics told you
they have money to waste, man. That's why they did that.
Yeah. So them stop teaching civics so the average youth don't know.
Yeah,
but think about if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book.
But do you hold on for me, Lou? Do you all? The question I want to ask is it civics for young Jamaica? Is it still in existence? Is it still around or just disbanded?
Probably out of print.
Have you ever seen it again, Lou?
I have a copy.
Okay.
I have
so
a
the question
copy.
now is, how do we go about reforming that?
There is but you know, Finzi Smith, there is a new edition of it. There are two of them, but the thing is that civics, as you're saying, really should be taught with an understanding of how a constitution is run and the the comparison should be about when we were under colonialism, what what this republic would mean, and what these young people need to understand. So they are growing into the sort of civic responsibility of ensuring that at the local level and at the central level, that people are delivering on what they said. So to write a job description, Sir Smith, who monitor and evaluate that you are carrying out the function. Now you can't see your MP because your MP always there parliament or the MPs on a committee, and them leave the responsibility of community development to the
Counselor.
the councillor. Is the republic going to be that the council now? Are you going to remove the three-tier system, or you're going to just merge in central with local, and hence give the MP more control over what happens at the community level? Because you know, after every 5 years, when you're voting a person, you don't see that person until the next election, and
But
the
like I
person
said, we can't fix that, you know. It's not hard. First thing is, nobody that is elected as an MP must be a minister of government.
yeah, those fixes are going to be central, and I would really love to see what you would do as advisor to the, not necessarily the current administration, but maybe to a new administration that really wants to take on the issue of crime and violence. I heard it. I heard some frightening statements that were made by the Prime Minister in Parliament about you lock up all our youth where you're fighting with a gun for 50 years. Is locking up people ever going to solve crime?
No, he's trying to put it in a cupboard and lock it. So there's no emphasis on rehabilitation. So the thought process is, once you have committed a crime, you might as well dead because you're done for.
And do you get the same sense that I get, that when you talk about constitution, apart from Justice Bat and Lloyd,
Gifford.
not Lloyd Barnett, even the other day, me hear them say the Constitution Court, the justice did not rule on the DPP situation. I heard the Justice Minister said she might have ruled on it, but there were some limitation, and therefore this is why they're still pushing the notion that the justice might not have had an in-depth understanding of what the Constitution said about the tenure of the DPP, which I find to be more than disingenuous. Because are you saying that you have people on our court that do not understand the full function of the Constitution, hence them can interpret it and write a judgment in law based on what is there and what?
Do you know the simple answer to that? To show
Yes.
you the level of disingenuous behavior? In law, there's common law.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things are derived from common law. But common law is open to interpretation. That is why a lot of people run a place and say them is lawyer. Because they make their money interpreting that. And the person who comes for the best interpretation for the day and create a precedence win. Constitutional law is the letter of the law, not open to no interpretation. It is the letter of the law as written. That is why constitutions are so carefully, or should be so carefully written. They're not open for you to twist and turn it and say, oh, what I think they meant was. As it's written is how it is. And if something you do breach what is written, you're guilty of a breach of the Constitution. I go further. If you're in a position where you swore on a Bible or a Quran or whatever to uphold the Constitution, so help you God, a breach of the Constitution, you have made a career decision.
Now they would say I, Jeffrey Tavares, do solemnly swear that I will uphold and defend the Constitution of Jamaica, so help me God.
There you go.
Andrew Michael Holness did that.
Yes.
And until now, he hasn't defended or
But he has been
uphold the
found to
Constitution
be,
of Jamaica.
but let me be generous. He has been found to be in not just breach, but in misunderstanding
The
of the
Constitution.
law,
Yes.
of the Constitution.
And
And
Do you
rather
do,
than
do you
admit
believe
that
do you believe that Delroy Chuck even misunderstand the Constitution too?
I am, as a Kingston College old boy, I am praying to all that's holy that that is the case. Because with his knowledge, if he has circumvented it and tried to salad it like a man on a football field, then Bishop Gibson must have rolling in him grave.
Lou?
Jeffrey, the thing is that I think even some of the most learned people, when you hear them talk about the Constitution, don't seem to have an in-depth understanding of it. I think when Manley wrote that, because my challenge with it is that there was a time when me hear that David Core and the former Prime Minister now former Prime Minister Pattison, former Prime Minister Siaga, um, they were in some constitution reform, and that was the meeting of the bright.
Hello? Lou?
You hearing me, Jeffrey?
Yes, go
Yeah,
ahead
I'm
now.
hearing you now.
Mhm.
Yeah, and them did have them did have some veil royal talk about reforming the constitution, and Mr. Chuck was, to my memory, I think Mr. Truett was one of the members of that fine mind of lawyer, and you never hear anything about it. And I'm wondering why in 2024 we almost going back to the beginning. If those discussions and those things that were written, because I've been asking anybody who can tell me where you could get copies of those documents to look at what were the mindset of those men, because as my erudite colleague just said, there are lawyers who purports that they can make an argument based on their interpretation of the Constitution, and it lends itself to a logical reasoning, but it is but it is not always grounded, because I hear that one word in the court can means have several meaning and interpretation. But I believe that a modern constitution, and when I ask this question, can anybody tell us a constitution that we would like to be similar to, taking in the fact that our culture and our needs are quite different from quite a few places? So even in comparing us with Barbados and that they went to a republic, has left me a little bit bewildered, because the only people in Jamaica who seems to have an in-depth understanding of the constitution is them always refer you back to Lloyd, and now I'm looking at Bat's book of the Constitution, but nobody can tell us, if we were to reform the Constitution overall, which Constitution we would model it off,
But
and therefore,
don't rush there yet, Luke. Let me help you. First thing we have to find out is what is the process to do so, not even where we're going with it. What is the process to do so? There are safeguards written into the Constitution that you have to follow, purposefully put there. It's not just I don't like this word, so take it out. There are safeguards to the Constitution that are purposefully put there. So to change anything in it is a process that is not simple. Far from it. And we know in Jamaica have a habit. You have a title, oh, I'm doctor. But you may not have any medical experience. So you're not operating on me. You may be a doctor of laws or a doctor of whatever.
Or a
But
doctor of lies.
we follow titles blindly. So
Or a
because
doctor
you
of
say you're a
lies, Sister Smith.
lawyer, huh?
Or a doctor of lies.
Yes. Because you say you're a lawyer, you figure that opening your mouth and expounding, using as many syllables as you can muster, and sounding erudite and learned makes you impenetrable to fallacy. And I'm putting it to you that a number of so-called legal trained minds have very lateral thoughts.
And that is, and there within lie the problem, Jeffrey, because I believe that those who are now committed to the task of rewriting this piece of document that is going to oversee the function of human life and don't infringe on our rights, it really should come from a deeper discussion than you're reforming because we no longer like Britain. Because Jamaicans are of the opinion that we did swap black dog for monkey because independence has not brought us the level of maturity as a nation. We're young, we are a young democracy, but I believe that if we did make some consistent effort to make sure that the Constitution preserve the rights and dignity of all, and not just a faithful few, you would not need these sort of Alibaba and the 40 thief who sound erudite and can go to a court and stand up and them take millions of dollars from you. Like, for instance, I believe that you should have a clear discussion about retainer. I mean, a fair man for take $150,000 from you for just come visit you. A prison for take a statement. How many Jamaicans below crossroad have $150,000 for pay a lawyer? Would Vibes Cartel have had this day in court if he never have 2 shilling? So I believe that the law must be it must be constructed in such a way, and therefore that is why I agree with my friend Mr. Francis Smith. You must have those things explained. Right now, Jeffrey, it is being rushed. It is
For a
being rushed.
reason.
And is it being rushed, Jeffrey, because we want to become like El Salvador, where we limit the rights of the citizens? We abolish the voice of the opposition, and the power resides. Because you see, people not going into this republic thinking that no, this a time for me, the ordinary citizen, said, no, man, stop. So the Speaker of the House must be voted by us. We want to have full control over who will. So if we believe that Finlay Smith would make a good speaker, we ask him, would you be interested in carrying out the function? And therefore, it takes away from the ambiguity of you having the higher seat in Parliament. So you just promote who forget promoted, whether they served as deputy or so forth. I'd really like to see the people of Jamaica have more power. We must pick our commissioner of police. And therefore, if we want to amend it to say that you can serve as a Jamaican who might be living in another country, all Jamaicans can put in their application, and we don't have any discrimination against it because we want to put our best foot forward. But the way all this is being rushed, Jeffrey, there's something that it just leaves
There's
something
an agenda.
sinister. Yeah, it's like them want
Yeah.
come lock me up, Jeffrey, but them just want this power. Because why are they fiercely defending the DPP? Me never hear them go, me never hear no political party go
No,
out.
but look, without being disparaging, I'm just putting it forward, not making any innuendos. Of all the people with legal so-called acumen to lead this process, the lady chosen, on what basis? On what level of experience?
You mean for the speaker?
No, I'm talking about the person set up to guide the constitutional reform.
Oh. You mean the good lady Miss Marlene Malahoo Ford?
What you call her name, I didn't. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I would like to see.
and Sir Smith, she of all of them seem to be so contemptuous of the Jamaican people. It's like we're just dummies, we're rubber stamped, we don't understand anything, and she bears all knowledge
Do you
of
know
what needs to
who
be
she
done.
reminds me of?
Uh-huh.
A French lady that
I
once said,
I
"Let
call
me
her
take."
SSR. I call her SSR Fura, but I don't know who she remind you of.
You remember the French lady who said, "Let them eat cake"?
Oh,
Vincent Smith behave
yeah.
himself.
No, but it's the
No,
same type
no,
of
no, no.
situation.
There's nothing to behavior. That sounds like her.
The person was told the people are rioting because they have no bread. Let them eat cake.
Oh my
Which
God.
brings me back to my point. Representatives at certain levels in this country must be domiciled in the places they wish to lead. Therefore, if that place don't have the water, they know about it because they know no neither.
True.
It's called representational politics. There's a whole new sense of urgency when your toilet can't flush. Nobody have to come knock on your door and tell you. You know.
So true.
We need to get away from, oh, I'm the honorable this and I'm the honorable that.
Or and to become Marie Antoinette.
Yes. Yes. So if you
French
want to be
lady.
honorable,
No,
act honorably.
but Jeffrey, I think this party, this administration, is setting itself up to see one of the biggest pushback and riot. I would really not, I really wouldn't want us to return to those
My
days of
mother, God rest her soul, used to say that Bobby mouth make out a goat skin. And she used to tell people, if I tell you that a cow can lay an egg, don't argue with me. Just go get a big frying pan and look plenty oil. It'll go happen. And I don't claim to be a prophet, but certain things are as clear as the writing on the wall. I was reading from I was age 3, and I have devoured books for some reason till today. Still doing it. And you know what I've learned in my reading and
But Bobby,
observation?
then many more people will have to suffer. Many more people will have to die. Is this the way to for democracy to be born? Can't we not? I mean, given the fact that we are a young democracy, you want to tell me that we don't have intelligent leaders to now feel the pulse of the people and see that the apathy that exists in Jamaica, they have to be careful what it is that they're doing, because any moment now the volcano is going to erupt.
Do you know where the blueprint for our current situation was written?
In London.
No, sir.
Where in Jamaica?
Nazi Germany.
In where?
Nazi Germany.
What the hell?
You want me to bring you the parallels?
Please.
Hitler arrived and made speeches of strong vitriol and pride and this. And he had with him people like Goebbels and other people who were busily misinforming people and running with kind of, what you call it, government by soundbite, and you can't get nothing, blame it on the Jews. You can't get that, blame it on this, blame it on that. We need to be powerful. We need to do this. And people say, siege Heil, seashell.
Hmm.
You want me to tell you where that come from now? When we get a parallel?
Please.
Make sure you have everything you need in the shower. We're going to make certain that you have water whenever you want it. Shower. We're going to make certain that you have cars to drive where you want and big mansion like mine. Shower.
Built by labor.
Yes. And then now, Goebbels has been recreated by a person whose name I won't call by constantly dissing the truth in defense of the lies.
Mm-hmm.
And when you catch them in the lies, them switch target. And if you say that that is improbable, you're now a PNP because you don't agree with them.
Hmm.
And when people say, what about what you promised me? Look, man, have you seen what I've done over here? What about housing? I gave away 25 houses last year. But there are 25,000 people who need. We will get to them.
In the next administration.
Has it ever occurred to you what was the impetus for the rapid development of the St. Thomas Highway?
Because you're going to move, you want to expand the port, so you have to move the people that are now living in these dense community
No.
to.
Yes. I'm going to leave one word with you, and then I really have to go. Jeffrey and I'll probably discuss it at a later date. Cowboy.
You hear about Cowboy, Luke?
Yeah.
You know about Cowboy?
I don't know, but I've heard stories of it.
What stories have you heard?
All right. It had something to do with the same what them call it, Green Bay.
No.
Cowboy is a port in St. Thomas that is the deepest harbor in this hemisphere. There was an earthquake and Cowboy's thing fell, so them can take any tanker of any size in there. So they want to set up a bunkering operation in Cowboy.
To have oil.
Dr. Cole, God rest his soul, got that stuff developed and championed for the establishment of a bunkering facility there. And then all of a sudden, somebody start accusing him of messing around the little girls in Standpipe. Somewhere down the road, I don't know what was the situation, but Dr. Cole was dead. I'm not going to say it on this program, but I'm suggesting you do your research and find out. Cowboy was Finsacked.
Yes.
Cowboy was owned by Melissa Silvera's grandfather.
Grandfather, yes. And now Cowboy is owned by somebody in the parliament.
Yes.
And somebody loaned Melissa Silvera $12 million. And some gunmen went to Miss Silvera. Jeffrey, behave yourself. But all of a sudden, Melissa Silvera is dead. And the question must be asked tonight. The person who loaned Mrs. Silvera the $12 million, Cowboy is sold now. Did you get your $12 million out of the sale of Cowboy?
I will leave you with this one. All is not it appears to be. And it's fascinating that in spite of evidence to the contrary, they have attempted to hijack the life and freedom of our widow. Because it's the proper thing to do. I'd be fascinated to see if it ever went to trial, how they're going to get a jury which has been tainted by misinformation. I leave this with you. Be careful what you wish for. You might surely get it.
Lou, you have
still
something
in
to say to
talk, Lou?
Go ahead.
Well, I know that, and I heard other story, but I know that Cowboy is part of a major development, Jeffrey. But it's an interesting story. I really need to follow this one up with Bobby. But the truth of the matter that Jamaica is being led by a dishonest man, and the level of the skullduggery that is taking place here, it will send you to the madhouse.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And
I've tried my best to ignore stuff that keeps crossing my path. And I'm going to tell you a quick story.
Please.
My youngest child is 18 to be 19 in October. And I thought when he crossed 18, I was free at last, free at last. And my second daughter and my first son conspired to have 2 grandchildren for me over the space of 6 months.
They conspired?
Yes, must have conspired. And the older grandchild who just crossed 1 learned to walk to the point where him almost a run now. And him run down the passageway to my room, beat on the door, and said, "Papa." And when I open the door, a wave come over me, saying, "What am I leaving for this young man?" Who seems to idolize the fact that he can run away from his mother and thing and come seek refuge by me. And I'm going to leave him at Jamaica that people can throw him in a jail on the women fancy of somebody who don't like him.
Why?
One thing I can say,
people are innocent.
Yes.
And can't get freedom because they don't have the money to buy it.
Yeah.
I know of a case where a young lady, and I use the term advisedly, accused a young man who was working at RADA up in the hills of Maryland and thing, of raping her when she was 12. It is alleged, notice I say, it is alleged that the judge who oversaw the case had some history with rape. But the lawyer allowed the case to continue in front of the judge alone. No rape kit. The young man had not even gotten a traffic ticket. Was given 14 years.
Dear God.
And the lawyer who have the case won't release the file to another lawyer because him hanging on to it, wanting to know how him fees go.
And that is why right now somebody is languishing in jail in this country, Jamaica, accused of murdering his wife.
With
and
no
the case is being tried
evidence.
with public opinion.
With no concretized evidence. And public opinion has gotten to the point where if you take 15 out of 20 people and say, I need to form a jury, he's guilty.
All because of some people in the high up of society in this country
who decided it suited their purpose for him to be used as a distraction
from the true murder, the true person who really murdered Melissa Silveira.
And the narrative is allowed to continue. For instance, it's all over this country, all over the world, that she got shot in her vagina. No such thing.
Dear God.
The judge, I'm told, said, I'm not giving you any bail because you will tamper with the witnesses. There are no witnesses.
Boy, I tell him, the level of skullduggery.
Let me go before I get myself into deeper mire.
No, man.
My
People don't understand the level of manipulation and power that is being wielded in this country, man. When them want to get rid of you, them build up a story.
And people are very willing to believe it.
I remember telling somebody
the contrary.
Some of the story them build up in us. Sir Smith, when you hear it about yourself, you almost have to believe it the way how them.
Yes.
How them orchestrate the lies.
Yes.
But what I don't understand though.
But Jeffrey, what you don't understand is why people have such a high contempt for the justice system in this country. That's why a man will tell him rather take him situation to a corner you than not go before a court.
Yep.
Hold on, hello. Cowboy was finsacked because the grandfather XQYZ and the whole land pan Cowboy. The question that we must ask ourselves, how certain people in parliament find much $1 million to buy Cowboy from finsack?
Jeffrey, it's been nice having a discussion with you. Luke, I leave you to safeguard him from himself.
We're going to say good night.
No, man, the revolution need to start. We need to start the truth. Because what you said a while ago, it cuts against the grain, man. What will I leave for the youth, them? If all that will become a product of silence, what is it that we give them? So, true, your grandson is my little nephew, so I have to fret for him because God forbid somebody not like him, you know. I did dislike you because I realize that some of the hatred them care for you, you know. It's not your by virtue of your doing, it's the virtue of the doing of the people who you are related to.
Yep.
Because recently I'm in a meeting and me and a man I said, I now work with a man there because his father was so and his mother was so. I now work with him and I'm saying, what does that have to do with the discussion we're having? I don't know his parents. I don't know the atrocity that they carried out. As far as I'm concerned, the person is a decent person, and it just dawned on me how many times I've been in a room and people might have been saying, I don't want to be in this room with this guy, you know. Yep. Because, you know, and I'm guilty by association.
To deal with you because you're not malleable.
Well, them put it in another way, I'm too passionate.
I had a cousin you may have heard of. Him called Gil Scott Heron. Had a poem that said, when the revolution comes, revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live. Jesus Christ will be standing on the corner 125th in Harlem waiting to take the first gypsy cab out.
I wonder if it's Dr. Francis going to be the gypsy cab.
I don't know, Nabash. I don't know.
But Jeffrey, you can appreciate why them putting up so many ads against what you, Rattigan, Sir Smith, Michael, where my guy the name again?
Herb Nelson Jr.
Herb Nelson Jr. You realize the amount of ads that I'm seeing come out now on how you guys are a set of deceivers and liars. It's amazing that them spending so much money for something that
what I'm called Wayne Lonesome, target number one.
Yes.
And you know me did have it to say that was target number one.
Oh, you mean Rupert?
Mm.
Oh, man, Wayne is
Rupert up
target
here,
number
but
one and
Wayne
Rupert is target
Lonesome is
number two.
target number one. Because Wayne Lonesome don't care.
Think them a look for any property or family won't have out here, Jeffrey, for make sure say them start pick them off one by one. We have to go look at the security of each person who appears on this. We have to talk to Sir Smith after here.
You mean I should take care of myself first?
Yeah, but you have to go help we when have no when have no training in military protection for start to protect myself. Cause I am of the opinion that we need to build a bunker.
I can give you a lesson one for free. Find out where the trouble is and don't be there.
Gentlemen, 2 minutes, your final remarks. We're going to cut the program because, as what Sir Smith said, I have to protect myself from myself because some stuff that I read since today.
No man, it's serious, Jeffrey.
Look, I am telling you, I said to myself, is this the Jamaica that they're talking about a 2030 vision for? The level of corruption and skullduggery in this country?
What was that, Sir Smith?
I says he has something that he was speaking to me about today. I'm telling you to feel free to share it with you.
Okay. Thank you. I will.
And get a strong cup of coffee when you read it.
Luke?
Oh. Well, me that think about some white rum that can substitute, because me that start little drink.
Yeah, man.
Yes, a little bit drunk, bro.
That might be better.
Yeah, man. Some days me tell Jeffrey say when me learn some things, me have to come home to a little spirit and even speak in tongues because me can't believe that mankind so wicked.
Well, this morning when I read what I saw, I wish I was talking to you on the phone. Maybe you don't chat some tongues and say, you look up and me look up and you. Robert Mama Socia who stole the Honda? Or should I say Mama Socia who stole Cowboy?
No, Jeffrey.
No, man said,
Jeffrey.
Who took the cookie from the cookie jar? Was it you who took the cookie from the cookie jar? No, not me. Was it she who took the cookie from the cookie jar?
Jeffrey, Sir Smith will tell you that just before this Silvera case, we still wonder how come Dr. Broomfield dead.
Okay. Okay.
And when you hear the varying story, Jeffrey, you understand why the Jamaican people them don't want protest. It have to get so bad that everybody get up because nobody wants to be singled out because these people are known.
You don't know what was done, Luke. When they put the homosexual stripes on it, it immediately, people who would want to inquiring minds want to know, they immediately distance themselves from it.
Can I say he's a homosexual?
Yes.
Yeah. That was when everybody, all of a sudden, it was no longer something that we really wanted to get. We were shocked and awe, and then all of a sudden, here said the man was a practicing homosexual, and that was the end of it.
There was a fire of outrage until that bucket of water was thrown on it.
But the truth of the matter, Jeffrey, just imagine how many people lose their life in this country on a daily basis for just wanting to see the country be a better country.
This is Haiti.
No, man. This is you small saying that if you play by the rule, you're going to get shaft.
That was you who said it. It was thing there.
PJ?
Phillips.
Who, Peter Phillips?
Yeah.
It wasn't you small said it?
No. Peter Phillips.
Gentlemen?
That is why some people consider me to be unruly and unwanted because I am at the age where I have a repository of knowledge, and they hope that age would have removed some of it along with Alzheimer's from me.
Hmm.
But so far, knock wood, I have not been stricken. So my memory is still very good and accurate.
Today,
Go and do your research as to what prompted the Coral Gardens massacre.
dear God, in hear you again.
Yeah, Sir Smith, me that I get to talk to me.
So what's
You
that?
like to do what?
Sir Smith,
Look,
one day up here, you can give me a listening ears what me hear about because too much story out there.
Now what is one? This is not stories. It's one simple story.
what was it?
Somebody wanted land,
Here you again. Land again.
and Rastafarians had cultivated the land for quite some time.
So
And refused
somebody
to
in the
move,
Labour Party wanted land.
and they bulldozed the property, and the Rastafarians got upset and burned down a gas station. And Bustamante went down to Montego Bay with his 2 pearl-handled pistols in his waist and said, "Who you can't catch, shoot, and what Barnett Street can hold, Pie River Cemetery will.
Go on again.
Who you can't catch, shoot, and what Barnett Street can hold, Pie River Cemetery will."
That is what Jamaica's Prime Minister said.
Yes.
And that is the person they give national hero to.
Yes.
We're sick as hell in this country.
Bin. Remember, the very first governor of this country was a pirate.
May God have mercy upon us.
There you have it. We tried to correct it, you know. We have more churches per square acre than anywhere in the world.
Yeah, we have more pirate Jeffrey behave herself. My God, look down from upon us.
He is.
Jeffrey,
Right?
I made a comment, Mr. Sir Smith. You can tell Sir Smith I said the same thing the other day to you, but I don't think people listen for learning. I think people listen to rebut. Because if the Prime Minister can look for the church leader, them recently, I said, every time me on the talk about the Constitution, and it sound like the PMP, does that sound like a leader that is inclusive or a dictator?
No, that sounds like somebody who sees enemy behind every rock.
I think they are, Jeffrey, they're more upset with you lot for starting this internet radio. You, the lonesome, Rupert, Rattigan,
I
because
tell you,
them your ordinary Jamaicans now take them lives anymore. Them can't go to ordinary Jamaicans with
I
liar
tell you
right.
something doing a Luke and Sir Francis Smith. When I started this thing, you know, I was on Roots FM in Jamaica. When I decided to migrate, I said to my producer then, I said I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. He said that's good, yes. And when they hear me start hit out against the level of skullduggery and the level of nepotism in the country, he called me one day and said to me, "Say, I beg your name Tavares, make you do it." I said no. I said I'm tired of it. I am tired of it. I grew up in an environment where they look at me and say to me, "Look here, whatever you want to do when it come on to voting is up to you, you know. I'm not going to tell you to vote for this or vote for that."
But
And
the most
quite
I will
early,
tell them is, I won't tell you to vote for her. Please, God, vote.
and quite early, that they realized that I was a rebel. So that is why a lot of people don't like me. And I really don't care.
What I know, Jeffrey, is that Jamaica, those who understand how the thing works, hates truthful people.
Yep.
The truthful people is like a virus to them. They're a venom that them want to get rid of.
Truthful people make them feel bad about themselves. Do you know the only thing worse than shitting on the sidewalk?
What?
If you're stepping in it too.
Oh God.
So Smith, before we go, cause we gotta go. Before we go, what is your views on the whole plane of Indians that came into Jamaica?
Do you know what Indians are famous for these days?
No, tell me.
Technology.
Oh.
Well, me I tell the teacher if you did that, you remember shake your hand, come tell them so something I go on and them people alone can fix it.
It is more than that, you know. It is more than that. Because somebody who know the high up of society, an individual who came in on a private jet, offer a person a certain amount of money to meet with a higher up. And the person said, no, I'm going to take your money. You can't bribe me if you're going to make a meet with higher up.
Jeffrey, but the youth them on the street and said, true, ATD stabilize them need somebody else who best can replace them than the Indians.
2 of the people said to be on the manifest are of interest to the Americans.
Yes.
I rest my case.
Gentlemen, this is where we're going to say so long for tonight. Thank you very much. Luke George Cook, happy birthday to you. Robert Finzi Smith, always a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Am I allowed to go and have a rum and coke now, Jeffrey?
Yes, go and have a rum and coke.
I can't afford dirty martinis.
You already have dirty politics. Leave the martini alone.
I want you all to listen to something. A young lady sent this to me. Listen to this.
Break the silence. Break the silence. End the violence. In Jamaica's heart, where dreams should soar, we're faced with violence knocking at our door. Youth, both perpetrator and victim, caught in its snare, a cycle of despair, a burden hard to bear. But in their hearts, a spark ignites. They're not just victims, they are guiding lights. We call on our institutions, a unified stand, to break this cycle hand in hand. JLP and PMP, let's set aside the fray, a bipartisan approach to light our way. Mental health, a crucial part of restoration and healing, and giving our young people a brand new start. Let's invest in our youth, their potential untold, provide them with pathways to break the mold, education, opportunities, a chance to thrive, to rebuild Jamaica, a hope we can revive. Together, we'll arise with youth at the fore for a safer, brighter Jamaica forevermore.
A blend of Timbuktu with European music in the background. Expressing our hope. Expressing a collective hope.
Pardon me?
I will make a suggestion in parting.
Yes.
Get a copy of it. You can put it up on the screen so they can read it along with you, and finish every program with the national pledge.
Yes. Thank you. I'll do that.
Because some people hear about it but never heard it.
I'll do that. Thank you, Sir Smith.
That there's an indictment in it when you compare what the pledge says and what God knows is saying.
Yes. So Smith, thank you very much for coming on.
We first make them criminal, then we punish them. Sir Smith.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night. Yes, Luke, go ahead.
Night, sir.
No, I agree. You first, them education, expose them to ill prepare them. You first make them criminal, then punish them. A collective hope. I heard it the other day when you played it. I agree with Sir Smith. Put it up, put it out there for people to see it. Let that be the guiding a guiding post to what we need, and let us remember to go back to the national pledge. I always refer to it in my presentation. Jeffrey, if not we, then who? If not now, then when? The country is in a mess. And let me tell you, people now hide them agenda again, Jeffrey. Now hide them agenda. And they see you, me, and others as a nuisance.
Well, one thing I can say now, I'm going to end with one thing. Luke, watch this video.
I said, don't you trouble Zion. Where you go, Papa? Don't you trouble Zion. Somebody touch no God. I said, Zion of a key. To open fingers on. Don't you trouble Zion. What the church said, oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo. Let's shot.
Jeffrey, you got not Zion now. And so say where I walk up here.
Luke, have a good night, my brother.
I go and wrap me down, come on with my pencil, my spoon, and my fork.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And where you not going with?
To be
you
no,
see me, I see you.
No, so the lady said, man, the lady see her enemy pat the bands and she say, I wonder who that dirty bitch that pat the bands, and the lady respond in the reframe and say, I wonder who the dirty bitch I talk about. I couldn't me. And then there was an exchange of words in tongue where one say, you look under me and I look under you and I look up and you shut up. So, people, even these churches, the people them find a creative way to use Jerusalem back way. The country's in a mess, but we can't give up. Never give up the fight.
So true, my friend. So
man,
true.
never give up the fight, Jeffrey. Get in some good trouble. Who did say it again, Lewis?
Yes,
Always
the great John Lewis.
Yeah, man, put up yourself in some good trouble, man. You can't give up the rock. Can't give up the rock.
The great John Lewis, may his soul rest in peace. He said, get yourself in some good trouble. Luke, talk to you in the morning, my friend. On the behalf of all of us here, on the behalf of Robert Finzi Smith, Luke George Cook, Jeffrey Tavares, the producers of this program, I want to say good night to everyone. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And may God bless you. May God bless Jamaica land.
Have a great night. Let me tell everybody to buy one buckle if it's even water. Come sit down with me. I'm bringing the new day.
All right, Luke. We'll hold on there, Luke. Like I said, this thing, and then we can talk after this. Hold on.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people. Make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people. Make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend.